Okay, I'm going to do a prop firm challenge, but I'm going to use my demo account. And I'm going to pretend like I have bought a $50,000 prop firm challenge, and I'm going to abide by those rules. In this particular case, I'm using the hypothetical situation of a $50,000 prop firm account from Apex, where the drawdown limit, daily limit, is $2,500. If you go lower than $2,500, you blow the account. Okay, you'll see my miracle roller coaster ride today as I'm learning how to do this. We're up $95. Was up 233, but after commissions, that's how many trades I had to take. A lot of scalping, a lot of trading, and a lot of trouble. So we're learning. The big thing is don't lose more than your maximum daily limit and hopefully make a profit. And at some point, we should be able to pass the prop firm challenge when the time comes. But let's take a look at all my trades today. Okay, today is day one, where I'm going to start setting a new playlist and goal to get my demo account back up to where I started, which is $50,000, in preparation to pass the prop firm challenge. And I'm going to make back, Lord willing, I'm going to make back that $50,000. You can see when I first got the demo account, I was really just messing around with different strategies and really just not having any set direction or goal. I started getting focused right about here, and I see that the strategies are working, and my goal is to get back up here. I got about a little over $5,500 to go. I'm going to practice this demo account as if I'm in a regular prop firm challenge. That means I'm going to use the same drawdown levels that they have at the Apex for the $50,000 account. I'm going to do the same thing on this and make my way up. If I get back up to $50,000 in this demo account, then I will have confidence that I can pass the prop firm challenge. So the strategies I'm going to be using are mostly a combination of strategies, moving average trendline breaks, but I'm going to be using ICT strategies as well as my new daily limit intraday swing strategy. So we're going to be taking it one day at a time using a combination of those three strategies. And let's see what happens. All right, let's take a look at what we did so far. This is going on our third trade. I was waiting to see what it's going to do. It looks like a strong enough move to trust right here. And we did a couple trades off the bottom here, off the 200 EMA on the hourly chart. We scalped it once it come down to the 200 EMA right here. We bounced that off right there. You can see that trade right over here on the bottom. We took just a scalp. Now, what if I held it, right? I mean, you don't know. When the market's trending down like that, it's tricky, and I'm still learning. I took a trend line break right here, but the market was going down. It was trade one, and it would have stopped me out for a loss had I not quickly taken a quick scalp on it. So these two are very short, small scalp wins. And now I'm going for a trade which you might say is the wrong time to get in. And because I believe the market is not going to collapse and go down today, I'm willing to go into my range trading techniques. Okay, I believe it's going to stay in a range then or continue up. The day chart, I was concerned this morning because the price had fallen below previous day's high. And we've seen through history that that's not good unless it gets back over the top of it. It did get back over the top of it. So now I'm kind of hoping that we stay in this range right here. That's my hypothesis anyway. So I'm jumping in, even though it's up here with 1 micro. It's kind of high, but I believe that I'm going to be able to add to my position again up to 10 contracts as it drops down and get a really good price. And plus, I want to practice my strategy where I'm preparing for the prop firm eval challenge, and I can't lose so much on the account. We have to have our daily stop limit in mind. You have to have that in your mind, what your daily stop limit is, and you don't want to go past that. So as long as I don't go past my daily stop limit, I'm going to prepare for passing the prop firm challenge. I got in up high on purpose because I wanted to practice my strategy of range trading. All right, well, let's see what happens here. Okay, where are we at on trade 3? We are still hanging here at the high of this little area here. If it holds this range up here, that'd be a great low area right here off the 50 EMA on the 10,000 tick chart to grab some more all the way down to this pivot here, using this area, these low pivots as a buy point. Right now it's just in this middle range. I can't do anything until it gets up higher where I can sell this one. But what I did so far is I bought high, I added here, and then when it went up to break even, I scalped out of one of them because I want to adjust my average price a little bit here. If it's going to keep dropping down, I'm going to lower my average price, keep scalping out at break even until I got my average price pretty low, and maybe we'll get another giant pop up when I got my average price lower. What I did was I jumped in high, and that was too high, and I probably could have added a little lower, and that would have been even better. So right now I'm holding 1 micro instead of 2. I scalped out of the second one here, right here at this area right there, and we're looking to add if it drops back down either to this pivot here or anywhere in this pivot down here in this area right there. Okay, I added when it came down to this 50 EMA to this pivot right here holding 2. Hopefully it'll bounce in this area. If not, we're not going to add anything until it gets down to the next pivot level. Okay, now it's going below previous day's low. We don't want that to happen. Previous day's high, I mean. And it could really drop. We got to be careful of our limit loss here. We don't want to go past our limit loss. I mean, look at this schizophrenic day. I mean, here's the 60-minute chart where it bounced off the 60, 200 EMA where we had that scalp off that moving average. It went all the way up here into the range, and now it's coming back down. There's a range down here as well. So if we can play the range, we'll be doing quite fine today. We got to be careful not to go over our daily limit, however. Whatever your daily limit is, you don't want to go beyond that. Okay, so don't add too much too soon, right? And scalp out whenever you get a chance, because every time we scalp out where break even is, we lower our average price. We want to get our average price as low as possible. If we got in too high, which I did, we want to keep scalping out and giving us a better entry point.
Order submitted.
Okay, I'm getting a little daring now. I have added my another one, so I'm long 3. I got to be real careful at this point. I'm just trying to scalp up a little bit here so I can figure out how to lower my average price. I got the 2 orders waiting above my average price. And sometimes when you get in too high, you just have to take a little bit of a loss. As long as you're making some of it back on the way up here like this is how much we made on that last contract. You know, it's possible to scalp out a little early just to take small losses instead of trying to hit a home run. And the whole point of this is to not close the trade in a loss, but don't go over your maximum daily limit. I'll say that again. You never want to go over your daily maximum loss, okay? Now, for me, it's anywhere from 500 to 1,000. I give myself some discretion on that because there's times when you can just hold a little bit longer and you'll be okay. And there's times when I cut it early, like $200 loss or $150 loss. You can cut it early too. You don't have to take your maximum daily loss. But right now, we're doing pretty good. Hopefully it bounces right here. Or I could just simply just take this little bit right here and be happy with it right there at that box right there, because it had gone up quite a little bit for me and I'm happy with that.
Order filled.
Okay, so we got out of that. Now we're holding 2 only, which is good. We took a little bit of a loss on some of that, a net realized loss on that. And now we're lowering our average price and getting ready for a bigger run up to the top. Okay, let's bring you up to date on what I'm doing. I have scalped again. I waited for it to come down, like I said, to this next pivot level where we scalped, boom, boom, buy and sell, lowering the average price even lower down here. So when I add, I'm trying not to get too big too soon. That's the key to this. It's so easy to try to just jump in and just go for the gusto. Once you get too big, I'll be honest with you, a little trick is just to scale out, get right back out, and then you start using your stop losses right where your entry's at, and you just get out of that particular ad. If this would have kept going, I had an option to just sell it real quick and let it keep dropping to the next level. So right here, we added 1 long 3, scalped out, was still long 2. When it came all the way down here, I added 1 and scalped out, long 2. So the average price keeps coming on down with the average price. Yes, we're taking small losses along the way. That's part of trading. You got to take your losses along with the wins. But that's where we're at so far. Long 2, trying to get as low as possible for that ride up. So on a 10,000 tick chart, you can see the perfect areas that we scalp out. I mean, off the 200, off the pivot. Next level is down here on this pivot. Let it do a liquidity sweep. Maybe break the low of the previous day because it's already dropped below the high of the previous day. It's in this range, sideways. So this is we're doing okay. Just remember, don't go past your daily stop limit. And that's all I can tell you about this kind of trading. Okay, we took a little break here. Let me recap. I'm not sure where I left off. I'm going to go over the whole thing at the end of the video. First of all, we started to take our new entries on these support levels. None of them held, and including this pivot break here, and especially including the liquidity sweep here. This is my favorite spot. I should have just really waited for this area. So we ended up going as full as 4 contracts. Okay, we still haven't reached our maximum daily loss limit yet, and if that happens, we're just going to have to get out of the trade. But this is teaching us how to maintain a mental disposition when price goes against us, how to scalp out at certain areas, because we scalped out of every area. On these circles on the 10,000 tick chart, we scalped here, scalped here, scalped here, and I'm just getting a little bit bigger on the way down. Still nowhere near 10 contract maximum limit. I'm only at 4 now. That last liquidity sweep went below the previous day's low. I was thinking the pattern for the daily chart is when it goes below the previous day's low, like it did here, it went up again. When it went below the previous day's low here, it went up again. When it went below the previous day's low here, it went up again. Here, it's doing the same thing. We should be able to scalp out of some of this and get ourselves a really low average price. So what we did was we added one, scalped out right here. Let's see, I did it right here. Add one, scalped out here. I added one here, scalped out here. I added one here, scalped out a little bit. We haven't scalped out of this position yet. And I'm adding just a little bit more and a little bit more each time to kind of get to the, hopefully we'll get to that point where it's the low of the day, you know? And I'm going to scalp out of some more right here if it'll get me. And that's a good little scalp for this little spot right here. Hopefully it'll grab that. If it does, great. If not, we're going to keep working this plan until it decides that it's found its bottom. And you know, if it doesn't find its bottom, then today will be a max loss losing day. Okay, you're bound to have one of those eventually. So we can't be afraid of that. Having a maximum loss daily limit is what's keeping us in the game. You got to have that. You always do. Okay, I've decided to scalp out of that one down here at the bottom. Could have gotten it much higher, but at least it's still profitable. And this little move here was good. I'm not reading the market very well, and because I realize that, I just want to start kind of tapering my position off. Could be just one of those days where you're not making good judgment calls, and that means you could end up losing your maximum loss. So we want to be careful at this point. It's going to be noon and it's going to be lunchtime in 20 minutes. I'm going to just hold on to 3 instead of 4. I think we're at the bottom, but we don't know that for sure. Can never say that for sure. And if it keeps going down, I don't really want to hold a big position. We're just going to have to realize that today might not be a profitable day, and that's okay. What we got to do now is manage the loss. If you can't make money and you realize, hey, this is not going in my direction, I got to cut my losses, I got to manage my risk now. And so that's the best thing to do. There's no way of predicting where it's going to go. So I just exited this one for the 3rd or 4th scalp here, positive, but it just keeps dropping. I'm trying to build my position little by little, so we're up to 3 contracts now. With that last add and scalp, I was holding 4. If it would have took off right there, that'd have been great. Holding 4 contracts, we would have been definitely, profitable for the day. After this big move, this move down right here, and it just showing signs of weakness, I don't want to be long 4 right now if it goes back down to the bottom here. And it's hard not having taken this profit right here when it went up to the 200. I almost, I moved my stop. I got greedy, I guess you could say. I had my stop at the top here, and then I just pushed it up higher. That was an error there. And see, I'm recognizing little tiny flaws in my judgment. So that's why I said, you know what, while this is still above this entry price here, while it's still above that, let me get out of that one. So every time we've added, besides building our position, we have scaled out for a profit. Starting right here for the first trade. Okay, we added right here, scalped out up here. This add was just to build my position. When I added right here, I scalped up here. All right, when I added right here, I scalped up here. This one was to build my position, because the further down it goes, the more likely it is to eventually hit the bottom. And it's best to build your position slowly. You don't want to hold all these adds and build up your position too quickly and then carry all that to the downside. And here's the last one. I added right here and I scalped up here. All right, it came down to that same level where it broke I bought and I scalped right here. Boom, boom. Bought, scalped. All right, same area that I did this time. If it's going to range, this will be the bottom of the range, which would be great. If it's going to keep going, then I've scalped a little bit more, and we'll wait for the next liquidity sweep, which really, you have quite a few levels right here. This is the previous 2 days ago's low on the daily chart right here, which is still above the 20 EMA on the daily chart right here. It could sweep that level right there and bounce off the 20 EMA. That's why we don't want to be too long and carry a bunch of positions all the way down with us. We've got to be ready for, it to come down to that 20 moving average. So let's just be patient. We're not holding any more than 3 on the way down, and we keep scalping. That's the 4th or 5th time we've scalped a little bit. It's taking losses away. It's making profits on those bounces like that, although we are still taking a realized loss. We're red right now. The only way we're going to get positive is if it finally decides to stop going down like this and make one of these pop-up runs. And it may not do that. It may not do that. It may go down a lot more first. Like I said, down to the 20 EMA. Maybe it's going to go down there first before it decides to turn around, if it turns around. So we're playing it very cautiously and carefully, keeping an eye on our daily maximum limit to not go beyond that. Okay, what I do last, let's see here. We did get out of another one. I had my average price right up here where this yellow line is. When it popped up, I got out of the third one. I'm only holding 2. So I'm at the low of the day with my average price. And now if it makes another one of those strong impulsive runs up, we're in a pretty good position. I hope that that's what it's going to do. Okay, let's take a look at what I've done since I last recorded. I sold 1 and was long 2 right here, and then it looked like it was going up, and I just got right back in it. Big mistake. This whole move could have been profit, and that I did not get because I sold the 1 instead of holding the 1. So what I did was I just missed that big move up. Instead of making money on the way up on that one, I lost money on the one I added all the way back down to that price. I'm talking about being out of sync today, really. So now I'm going to resort to my trend line break strategies. When it breaks the trend line, I'm going to add, and we're going to scalp, and we're going to try to fix this. If not, we'll just have a loss today, no problem. Everybody has to have a loss sooner or later. Okay, I had a very intense moment here. Okay, I was looking for the trend line break, and I kept getting in early with the 3 contracts, but what I would do is I'd get out. Right here on the way down right here, let's look at it over here on the 5,000 tick chart. On the way down right here, I was adding 6, looking for a bounce. It was breaking the trend line on this. It just kept nudging a little bit over more and more. You see how it broke right here, and it just kept grinding. So I kept adding, and what I would do is I'd get my stop loss underneath the pivot. If it started to break the trend line, I bought, and then if it came back down under that pivot, I sold the same amount. I did that 3 times. Look, add 6, long 9. I got out when it came down past the pivot, and then once it broke the next trend line over, I added 6. I was long 9 again. When it broke that pivot, I sold those 6, and I was long 3, but then I would add the same 6 back, long 9. I did it right here. Finally caught the bottom when I saw this doji candle and said, that's got to be it, the doji candle. So I added 6, and then I added 6 again. So right here, I added 12. I was long 15 altogether right here. See, long 15. And then when it went up here, I sold 6, that was 12, and now I'm long, as you can see, 3 again. Okay, now that's rough. That was rough. It was scary. It almost hit my maximum loss level. It was very, very close, guys. Very, very close. And I don't like trading like this. I don't. This is not my favorite way to trade, but this is a skill to have. Sometimes you need it. Sometimes you have to trade this way. Now, if it would have kept going, I would have had to stop out. $1,000 max limit, it would have hit me. It was going to hurt. Now it's breaking the trend line pretty good. Maybe it'll go back up into the top, and I just really need to break even today. Call it a close call. Go back over my errors and mistakes and try to figure out how I can do better next time, because I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong. Maybe I didn't do anything wrong. Maybe this is exactly how you're supposed to play a day like this. The thing is, guys, you never know when the market's going to take off to the top or bottom. When you get in with 1 micro, the plan is don't get too heavy too soon. So when we started off today, way at the top up here, it looked bullish. right here. Look at this bull move here. I should have understood that this move back down here was a complete collapse of that move there. And then this move right up here was only going back to that range. I should have waited for it to break out, and I didn't. And I actually bought at the top. I started adding and scalping here, and all those worked. And I scalped here. And then now we scalped over here just the same. Every scalp worked. Every single time I scalped, it worked. And I was like, okay, if it works for one, let me do 6. And that's what we did. So we scalped for 6 each time over here now, except the scalps weren't working. When I started doing the 6 over here, they were not working very well. That was problematic, and that hurt. And then it started to work. I finally got out for what little bit of it would give me. And that's the thing. Don't try to hit a home run when you're behind like that. Just take whatever the market gives you. I wish that I didn't try it 1, 2, 3 times and fail, and then on the 4th time it worked. That's the area I want to study more. Why did I get in so early? I'm going to look at that. But right now we're holding 3 contracts only, and hopefully this is the bottom of the day. We're down about $350 at this point in time. All right, this is just a terrible day. I don't like to be trading when there's only 90 minutes left, because you don't have enough time if the stock moves against you. So here with 2 hours left, I sold 1, and I'm only long 2 now. All right, so then I accidentally bought 6 and scalped out. It worked in my favor, but that was an accident. And then I've been scalping 2 and 2 and just been creating a little bit of a profit as it's coming back down to the 20 EMA. Buy 2, as soon as it pops, sell 2. Came down a couple times. I did that like 3 times here. And we got our loss down to $140 now, so we cut it in half. But unless this thing spikes up right now, I don't even see how we're going to be green for the day. But the whole idea is to not lose more than your daily maximum loss, because that's what the evaluation challenge is going to hold you to. And that's really the big thing for the challenge, is not to lose more than the drawdown. So I'm holding on to that. I'm doing pretty good on that. And if I could count the last couple of days, we've had some really good winners. Today's just not doing too good. Here's the day we're looking at right here. This is the kind of day that it is. If you can see the day, I've started buying way up here at the top. And I'm going to go back over. It was looking bullish. It was above yesterday's high. It was looking bullish. And then it just reversed, and that's what got me. And fortunately, it wasn't that big of a loss. Here we started buying right up here. It bounced, boom, went strong, got stuck on this level. And like I said, I should have waited for it to break out. And I did. I started buying here. I scalped all the way down, and this entire drop would have been disastrous had I, not been able to scalp my way in and have a good position. But and now it's staying at the bottom. And this is kind of like the worst case scenario for the trading strategy. And there's going to be days that it just doesn't work out. Not every day is the same. But we've been trading all throughout this range right here on the daily chart, and we've been really positive, having winners on back-to-back days and all that good stuff. Today's was a tricky day, though, I will say. So I'm going to see if I can, end the day cutting the loss less and less. But we'll see. Maybe I'm getting a chance right now to
Order filled.
add some more as it pops back down. But we'll see. I'll let you know how it ends. Okay. We are very close to breaking even for the day, but I did take what would seem to be enormous risks. I was up 20 contracts at one time. I started scalping 2 contracts each for jumpy moves. Then I went for 5, and this big move right here helped me out. You see I'm up right here. I got 4 contracts left. We're almost break even. I don't know if I should try to break even or just be happy that I'm down $20. This has just been a roller coaster ride, I tell you, man. I don't know what it's going to do. We got about an hour left, 50 minutes left of the trading session, and I should probably just close it right here for whatever.
Order filled.
Let's close it right here. Okay, you'll see my miracle roller coaster ride today as I'm learning how to do this. We're up $95. Was up $233, but after commissions, that's how many trades I had to take. A lot of scalping, a lot of trading, and a lot of trouble. So we're learning. The big thing is don't lose more than your maximum daily limit and hopefully make a profit. And at some point, we should be able to pass the prop firm challenge when the time comes.